Well, it's a later one on Wednesday's vlog here because obviously I've had to do a few things. I went to look at that Suzuki, I think it was called a Liana. It's no good. There's no drive. The people were right on top of us, so I didn't feel it right to record. But unfortunately for that car, I think the best place for it is the scrapyard, to be fair. It's not really excuse me, I'm sure it was that car that they used on Top Gear, if you remember, years ago, to race around the track. It's like not the saloon version, it's the hatchback. It's not really, apart from the engine, it's the 1300 Suzuki engine, what's in the Jiminy's. But nah, not for me, and I don't really want to try and get too involved. But I am trying to find them a little automatic car. So if anybody knows of a little automatic car local to the northeast, drop us a message. Anyways, behind us, quickly what's in. We've seen this Astra. What it requires is a steering rack boot. But what I'm going to get is a full new tie rod while I'm on, and probably a track rod end ready built, so that's done. Rear pads. Got the calipers off, but I've discovered, always remember, don't just focus on changing the pads. There's always a reason why pads wear down quick, is these slides. See how this one, get my hands dirty. See how that moves in and out as it should? This bottom one is solid. And both of them on this side are absolutely solid. You can sometimes put the windy gun, so to speak, the impact driver on here, but if they snap into the caliper carrier, big problem. So what we'll do is we'll get the heat out, heat this area here and here, just gently to help them out tomorrow. So we've got them off. The only other thing I've spotted, which is a little bit cause of concern with it, I may as well get my hands up the eyes, is this side, as you can see, I can push and not a lot's moving. But I'm a bit alarmed at this side. When I pulled it in, it was making quite a bit of like noise, squeaking. I don't know if you can see that. Obviously I can only do it with one hand. There's a lot of movement. I don't know if you can see it better if I hold the phone like this and hold this. See how the whole lot's moving? What I think's happened is this shocker over the years has leaked all of its fluid out and it's not doing its job. So I've just ordered a pair of rear shockers, OE quality ones for that. While the back wheels are off, they're no bother to do, just there and there. So we'll stick 2 new shockers on, new pads, free the slides off, gear gator, track rod end gator, like a tie rod. Can't I get my words out? It's time for home. And that's this one, probably ready for test. A few little bits and bobs. Just thought I'd add that one in there, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow on Thursday's vlog. Hello and welcome to Thursday's vlog. Had a few developments happen this morning. We had this Toyota Aygo in for MOT, and it's not looking good, unfortunately. The tyres are cracking on it quite badly. I don't know if this one's as bad as it isn't. No, there's still a few, but mainly with this, the old rot is just getting into everything on it. The sills are. This one's not too bad. But that's actually a main structure, and that's an awkward place to weld. Same with this one, it's really gone thin, that one. And I mean all this, you're just pushing it with your fingers and it's caving in. I think the outer sill's gone as well, yeah. You look to see that, it's just moving with my fingers. So you wouldn't want to be involved in a crash with this. Again, around that hole, it's all starting to go, so it's not really ideal. Is it, again, as much as you can weld something, you've lost the strength, and you have to try and explain to people, in these little things to start with, you're just driving around in a bean tin, basically. If you get hit by a bigger vehicle with one of these, even when they're new, you're going to come off a cropper. But when they're starting to rot like this, if you get hit by a big vehicle in one of these when they're rotting like that, even if you want to patch these bits up, yeah, I mean, the crumple zone on these, if you look, I've got one outside, the crumple is practically the rear passenger's head. It's like they don't have a one. That's the boot area there. Your head's here, and obviously over to my arm there. So I do tend to find it's not discrimination or bias towards little cars, but you do have to be very careful when these things start to rot badly, because if you just get one little knock and somebody could lose their life. And that's, isn't it? That's the whole point of an MOT. It's safety. And with these, again, with this is what's holding on the axle. So you hit a bump just a little bit too hard, and that's just going to tear straight out, and the whole back axle it's just going to come off on this. So, yep, unfortunately, one gone to the scrapyard. And oddly, obviously this was MOT for today. That's been now sort of written off. And then 30 seconds afterwards said, oh, well, we've got a free slot. A random lady turns up with this one. It's a Peugeot. It's exactly the same car. Citroen, Peugeot, Toyota developed these together. So she's got this one in. Thankfully, it's got a private reg on it. It's newer and in better condition. But this is the little 107. So that's going to be going up on the lift and checked. See what it's like for a test as soon as I'm finished this video. So got this out here. I'll show this later on in the day. So I'm not going to go around it too much. It's an A6. It's my pal Stevens. You probably won't mind it. I think you've seen his Toyota. I'll have to just say people carry because I keep forgetting the name of it. But the one with all like the plush seats in the back and everything. This is his dad's car. Very nice. 2 litre diesel. Probably the 170 or 180, I would imagine. Leather interior, but we'll go through that later on. For now, I'm going to leave that here, get this one off the lift, put this one on the lift, and get on with the Audi. So I'll catch you soon. And obviously, showed you the Astra last night. I'll show you that later in the day, as and when we get that sorted. Well, that's this one checked over, and it's perfectly fine. I just want to show you what I've done to it. Like I've just shown you, that other one was way past it. There's only, I think, 5 years maybe difference between the two cars. But this one's fared a lot better. But this is what I'm on about, the service we provide. It doesn't add a few, like a little bit of money onto the bill for a little bit of time and a few consumables. But it's worth it because these few little bits that we do, obviously on a yearly or 6 monthly basis, topping things up, is what fundamentally saves a car from being scrapped to not, if you're keeping it long term. First up, the only thing that this really does need is this tyre. It's badly cracked down there and the edge is getting done. She did mention it, so we'll get that done. Done the tyre pressures on them. Again, I've already mentioned to you with Toyota, bearing in mind this is Toyota, all of the brake pipe ends are always left exposed. That's just the way they come from the factory. They're just that little bit there goes and you've got to replace the whole lot because they're nicely plastic coated and they just leave them little ends there and there. So obviously what we do, you've seen it time and time before, coat the ends, coat the bottom of the shockers where they go quite bad. And you've just seen the one before with the holes in here. I've painted it with a bit of black wax oil, sprayed a bit of grease around the area. Same on the other side, around there. Front subframes are common with these. I've just coated the front subframe with a bit of protectant. It's like I've said, this is just part of a quick bit of money added onto the bill of a pre-check for an MOT. Clearly, to do the job properly, it would cost you a lot more money. But this are just what I do, quick preventatives on the known areas where they go, which saves customers a fortune, to save having to get brake pipes. And naturally, I don't cover up rust as such, like dangerous. I check that they're in good condition first. So there you go. There's just a few little bits of difference between getting the job done right and just taking your car to somewhere cheap as possible, saving when you start scrimping on pennies and it's bish bash bosh, job's done, all you get done is the bare minimum. We always go a bit above and beyond that, and we don't charge massive, stupid amounts of money like what dealerships do. So, just you get these people coming and going, oh, how much is this or something, and I'm like, oh, it's 40 quid. And like, oh, well, the garage down the road does it for 35. I'm like, well, crack on. Let them do it for 35, and if you think by saving a fiver you're getting the same job done, you've got another thing coming. It's just little bits like this would take the little bits of time. Obviously on the ferrules, on the brake pipes, there's the bit behind there, and again, we've done the track rod ends in case they ever need to come off up there. And like I've mentioned, we're not talking stupid money on the bill. I'm not adding 50 quid on the bill. I'm not even adding 20 quid on the bill. I'm not even adding £10 on the bill. Just a few quid. The woman come in with this car, new customer, with a lovely attitude, nice. And I'm quite happy, to be quite honest, just to charge for the basic cost of the consumables. Bit of grease, bit of wax oil, and a few quid just to stick in a pot to get a coffee. I'm not into ripping people off, and I'm not into making fortunes. I'm into just helping people. And at the end of the day, brake pipes are shit jobs to do, welding shit jobs to do, so I'm not bothered. People say, oh, we don't cover them, because if you cover them, you're doing yourself out of work, because they'll last longer. I don't want to be doing brake pipes, and I don't want to be doing loads of welding. It's no money in it, it's awful. So there we go, just thought I'd show you that. Going to get on with this Audi A6 and the Astra, and I'll come back to you shortly. Right, just on with the A6 here. Just thought I'd show you again another Euro 6 engine. Yes, this is just a 2-litre 4-cylinder. You'd think that was a V6 or a V8, the amount of pipes, wires. We'll just have a little look. I'll just explain to you briefly just what a couple of things are here. So we've got these pipes coming across here, right in the way of the timing belt, going to your AdBlue injector. Another thing you don't want. We'll stop in this area right here now. So you've got your AdBlue injector, very expensive. You've got a temperature sensor here, they're very expensive. I'll just move this pipe out the way where I've been working. You've got a lambda sensor and a NOx sensor. Yes, it is a diesel. And then another temperature sensor. These cost an absolute fortune, and they all do regularly go wrong. You've got your turbo actuator here with, again, another sensor on, which comes across to a vacuum-operated device. So we're working on old-school vacuum with electronic control. Why not just make it totally electric or totally vacuum? But again, it's all for emissions. Coming round to these, you've got a charge cooler on top of the engine, like you seen on that Skoda yesterday. A very similar setup, just another huge lump in the way to get to anything. And then down there, you've got God knows what else. I mean, Christ, even I don't know some of what these bits and bobs are around the back. There's coolers, that's your AGR pressure sensor there, which is buried, the DPF, that's buried down there. And you've got down here, like I've showed you, these NOx sensors have what you call modules with them. These regularly go wrong, and where have they put? They're put in a nice place where all the salt and all the crap comes through to go onto them. Don't know why they do that with these, but hey ho, but they're very expensive. And usually, I think they've designed them now so you can part them, but usually they used to have to be changed when the sensors go wrong. So yeah, just everything, just everywhere you look. Here, plugs, sensors, you name it. So all I'm saying, guys, is yeah, these Euro 6 engines, you need them if you live in London, not any kind of, like, what do they call, ultra-low emission zones. Unfortunately, that's the way things are. But for me, for now, I'll keep to me 3.7 V6 petrols, because you just, honestly, just one of these sensors, I could probably fill 2 or 3 tanks full on my Jeeps for that, and and they do go wrong. But yeah, just thought I'd show you. But what they have done, kindly, is made things nice and easy to work on for service, and I must admit, I'll give them credit for that. Oil filter's nice and easy to get to. Air filter, I want to show you, is a bit different, but actually not a bad idea. I'll give me thumbs up to that. The one that's come out is a man, so somebody's been using decent parts on it, but it is getting a bit grotty. So I've already done the oil and filter on it. Nothing to show you with them. It's a diesel, they're all black. So obviously we're going to put the new filter on. It's a nice design how it just goes down into there and just clips into place, like on a little threaded, like a threaded bar, like little tiny bits of plastic. But again, loads of fuel pipes running up here, which you've got to move and disconnect. So the new filter to go in, I've got the fuel filter, but you've got to drop all the under trays underneath. It's a bit like a petrol fuel filter, these, a bit like the BMWs. I'm going to have a look through the servicing history on it first, before jumping in doing it, because that, I believe, a bit of a lengthy job. So I'll have to maybe ring them up and ask what they want to do about it, because it's not just going to be part of a standard service rate if it needs extensive, like, under the trays taken off. I don't know till I get it up. Well, I'll see then. But yeah, just thought I'd show you this. That's your Euro 6 2-litre, probably a 170, 180. I don't know what they're running now at the minute, but it's an automatic, this one. Quite a nice car, actually. I do like the A6s. And obviously you get the top spec ones. They're really nice. But, you've got all your rear climate control, individual settings. Nice smell of leather, proper leather. You know straight away when it's, again, I like these. You've got your climate control. You've got like 2 vents in the back. Like 4, but like for each outside passenger, you've got this vent and this vent. You've got a 12-volt socket down there. Just nice, like they do a nice interior. These are just, for me, they're just such a lot of money nowadays. The prices have just gone sky high. It'll be probably the DSG gearbox in this. Don't quote us on that, but of this age, it probably will be. What do they call these? They've got a name, an Ultra something. It hasn't got the name on the back, but they call these like the TDI Ultra, I believe. It's be AdBlue. Let's have a look in here. Yeah, you see you've got your AdBlue there. Personally, I wouldn't have a car with this because it's just a pain in the arse filling the stuff up. As you see, no matter how careful you are, you spill it everywhere. It's just not a really glamorous kind of job to be doing. I don't think if you own a nice car, You're not going to do it at a petrol station because you're going to hold up people behind you, as always. I find it difficult enough putting fuel additives in when you've got somebody waiting behind you. They think you're taking the mickey. But at the same time, it's not a very glamorous job. So you've got a nice car like this, and you have to stand with a jerry can looking item, your AdBlue containers, every, month or so, or depending how long you use it. And there on your driveway, pouring stuff into it like you've run out of petrol. It's just a total inconvenience on every level. The fact that you have to buy it, it costs you money. You're banging it in. You having to have all of the inconvenience of physically putting it in, and that's a nice place to put it in. Some of the people carrier bag vehicles, you've got to go moving all the back seats out the way and pouring it down like a rear quarter interior panel. It's crazy. I've never seen. What was that on again the other day? Chiron, VW Chiron, which is like the Galaxy. Some of the Citroens in that, they're under the floor in the back, so you've got to go lifting all the carpets and trying to get this stuff, which is nasty stuff. I tell you, it's nasty stuff. This AdBlue, and pouring it on the inside of your car. It's like, I'll revert back. Give me a 3.7 litre gas guzzler any day if that's what they're calling. Well, these days, like electric cars, having to stand raveling on the wires and plugging them in every time you go off. I think we're going backwards, personally. I know it's all for emissions. It is there. It technically works. But in real life, it's just a chew. I was sitting to somebody the other day with these electric cars. In the summer, yeah, whatever. But in the winter, when all the ground's full of flipping salt and everything, you're having to, you've got your good clothes on. You're having to ravel on with these wires and then chucking them in the boot and then having to get them back out again. Like on a normal car, if your battery goes flat, and you've got to quickly, and you know what you're doing this is, connect up a battery charger, that's an inconvenience. And people are actually paying a lot of money to have this inconvenience. And I know obviously the electric vehicles are cheap to run, so to speak, but I don't think they are anymore. I've not done my homework on this recently, but I believe unless you've got a Tesla, it's quite expensive now, obviously with the price of electric going up to what it is, to what it's going to be. Who knows? But yeah, just thought I'd show you the developments of Euro 6 on diesel engines, and it's pretty much going this way on the petrols, because all of them are turbocharged and they look exactly like this. Just mountains of pipes. I mean, just for example, these two here are vacuum. They're your high pressure fuel. You've got diesel pipe, leak back pipes. You've got breather pipes. You've got more fuel pipes, coolant pipes, boost pipes. I don't even know what that's another one. Oh, down there you've got there's normally a couple of these. These are what you call secondary coolant pumps, and there's a couple of them, and they're very expensive. So yeah, just think twice before you want that new car. If your old car you've got isn't giving you a massive headache and it's not costing you a fortune to run, think twice before you go and get a new car these days, because you'll be surprised. When they're new, they're fine, but when they start getting of age, I think a lot of these cars aren't going to be what you call economical to repair, even down to the headlights. These are Audi. They've got all sorts of fancy things in here. There's like a bulb in there. It's like a cornering light. These aren't too bad because that's just a standard filament bulb, and so is that. But I've already shown you the Audi lights where they've got all the bits in. And the lad I was talking to the other day works in like a garage where they work on like modern cars and changing these lights. And you've got no idea of some of the prices of these lights. He was telling us and showing us some of the prices. I couldn't believe it. It's the price of a good car. Some of them, it's unreal. So yeah, I'll leave that one here. The Astra, my dad's been on with night. I got the pads out. I think I showed you. New shockers on, like I showed you last night. If I push this now, absolutely solid. So we've cured that. And the other side, so this side, the shocker was squeaking and slack. It's obviously leaked out fluid, but on this side, it had gone really tight, the opposite way. So it's got two nice new shockers on there. We're going to get on do the pads. So that's that. And then once we've done that, we've got the steering gaiters to get on with over here. And we've got a tie rod and a track rod. Unfortunately, yes, it's Starline. I don't recommend them, but that's all they had for this vehicle. They couldn't get anything else. And there's the boots. Don't know if a specific fit or universal, but no idea till we get it stripped down. But what I did buy a couple of months ago for, my Leon, a special removal tool for the tie rod ends. So it'll be quite interesting to see how our new tool works. So I'll come back to you when we've got that stripped down a little bit more and see how the tool works, and I'll show you what it does. Handy thing to have. Right guys, welcome to Friday's vlog. I'm going to keep this one short, as you know. Sorry if I keep repeating myself. I haven't got the internet, but I have here at the garage. But it still does take a little while to upload, so I need to get it uploaded. And we've getting rid of most of the jobs actually. I think the Astra's gone. That Astra yesterday, what you seen, the older one, the 04 plate, that's done and dusted, finished, MOT'd, all the jobs done to it, all the stuff's off it, the shockers, and I did the brakes on it. There's all sorts what you've seen on the video. Yeah, it's just my dad's car there, so just going to keep this one short and sweet. It's a family member's cars. That Astra, that we've just had a black Astra in this morning, Astra J, I think they're called, H, yeah, J. That was just a check over, because it's going on a long journey. And he's bringing the other one back now, a Citroen DS3, which I'm just simply going to do a quick check over of, nothing to record, and regas the air conditioning. And again, you've already seen us doing that with what we use, which I've shown you, is this stuff with a leak sealer in, which is really good stuff. So yeah, that's it, and I'm just keeping it short. A couple of things I want to go through. Another project. Yes, another project, guys. Basically, I have getting rid of a few of my cars. But at the moment, I've got, you know, what I'm using at the minute, I do have other cars, but they're not being used. I've got my Jeep, the ML, and the ZX. Like I've mentioned, this will be Friday, this is going out. Sunday, Corbridge Rugby Club, I'll be there with the ZX. Chris will be there, the guy who you see is going to these shows with. If any of you are local to the Northeast, come along. Don't ask us about how do you get tickets, how much are the tickets. Ain't got a clue, guys. This is the first time I've took a car to a show. Is a, what do you call it, an exhibitor. So I haven't got a clue what you've got to do. I've mentioned to a few of my pals to come along. I've mentioned to my mum and dad if they want to come along. But if any of you want to come along, clearly it's a car show. I think there'll be other stuff going on there, but I don't know. So don't blame me if you turn up and you're expecting a country fair and it's just a car show. But 9 times out of 10, there is other stuff going on at these shows. So that's that. I have got another project, which you'll probably be seeing. We're saying that actually this afternoon I'm going Jeep back because it's developed again. I don't know why it has no leaks, but it keeps developing a little whip on the oil filter. And the oil filters that I get for it, the man ones which I like, come in like on here. They're not listed as Jeep. This is a different one, by the way. It's not listed as Jeep. It's listed as an old Ford filter. What used to be on the old like Fiestas and Focuses. So I've gone on eBay. This has cost us like over a tenner, quite expensive. An original Marley one, which is more or less like Mopar, what Jeep use. So it's got a different kind of seal to it, and a different kind of makeup and general size to the other one. It's a similar size, obviously, but this does look a lot more promising at the top, as the seal seems a lot thicker. And no, it's not leaking from anywhere else. It's just a little bit of oil that just runs when it's on the car, because obviously it sits on at an angle like that. And it just runs down and just drips off the little piece at the bottom of the filter onto a little run tray, which you've already seen. And I just don't want it leaking oil on me drive, to be quite honest. So I'm going to obviously change the oil, put the new filter on, and just in case, I've got one sitting anyways, put a leak seal. It won't do any harm. It just recondition all the seals on the engine. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. I've been saying every single day to John where I've got my car, where I've got the Jeep stored. Oh, I'm coming today, then I'm not. It's just been so busy. So, going to do this DS3 air conditioning, go across, get the Jeep, do that, and I've still got to arrange somehow over this weekend to pick up my new car. But it is in the centre of Newcastle, which I haven't driven for a long time. I'm 33 now. It must have been when I was a teenager. If I ever have to go to Newcastle nowadays, I get the bus. I just hate driving in the city centre of Newcastle. It's a right pain in the arse. It's as simple as that. But I've got arranged to go and get it. And a quick description of why. You'll be sick of hearing us saying this now. Yep, the safari park. The drive-through safari park. We've forgot about it, kind of thing. And we've just remembered, shit, we've got to get this booked. So, we're in this situation of the only cars at the minute that's on the road that I would use is me Jeep, the ML, and the ZX. Clearly, the Jeep and the ML, almost 4 litre petrols. This is right down past Liverpool. it would be a bit silly taking them with the price of petrol. And plus, for the monkeys to do damage to it, obviously the ML I need it for towing. I don't want to have stuff ripped off that in me Jeep. They're just generally hard cars to get parts for, and I've spent a lot of money on that, as you've known. It's not a car I want to get wrecked either. The ZX, definitely not, for a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's not really a suitable cruiser car for to take down the country for that. And the only other one's my partner's Astra. But it needs a few jobs done to it. It needs a brake caliper done. It's got a bit of a leak on it and stuff like that. In fact, it's not actually running properly at the minute, to tell you the truth. So I am having to sort a few jobs on that for her. I'm getting a bit worried about how much it's going to cost that to get everything right. So that's out the option. So I was thinking, what we're going to take. We're kind of I want something with aircon, hopefully, if it works. Because obviously, they can do the safe route where you can go through, but it's not going to be the same. I want to go through the proper route where you can get the full experience of the monkeys on the car and all that kind of stuff. I know it's not ideal, and me as a mechanic, no matter what car I buy, I don't want to wreck nothing for no reason. I want something comfortable. I want something with big enough back seats so that if my partner needs to sit between the two kids, she can. And for me as a driver, I just want something generally nice to drive, you know. I'm not going to give you any clues of what it is yet, because I bought it blindly. I've never done this before. I paid the guy in full, and when I turn up, it's tough shit. But the price I paid for it, the cat off it, he's given us a retro/modern CD player. So it looks like an old school CD player to fit the car, but it's a modern one with Bluetooth and everything. He's left that in. So basically what I've paid him for the car, if I get it and it's an absolute shit box, I'll cut the cat off, sell the CD player, take a few other little bits off it, like the alloys and that, and I'll probably make the money back. I can't lose unless I go being stupid. But it isn't actually a total scrapper or anything like that. It's something really nice. It's an R-Reg 1998, and that's all I'm telling you. 4-door saloon car. Yes, it would have been nice to have a hatchback, but we wouldn't be taking the dogs there anyway. And it's absolutely immaculate, bar an idiot has damaged the front wing by kicking it or something. But bar that, it's been garaged in Reading, down in London, by an old gentleman from new. So I'm hoping, and from the pictures I've seen, it looks really nice. I'm hoping it's all it's cracked up to be, and if it is, happy days. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it after the safari trip. Some of you guys might be interested in it, actually. I might actually put it up for sale, which I haven't done before, on my channel and on my page. And I'll show you the work I'm going to do to it. And if any of you guys are interested in it, you can take a car at a garage northeast car for yourselves. And I'll not be asking a massive amount of money for it, as long as I can cover my costs, what I need. Cause clearly, if there's anything it needs for going down the country, I'm going to have to spend on it, you know. So we'll leave it there. That's enough waffle. There's not enough cars in for to really show you anything. I hope you've enjoyed it this week. I'm just trying to revert back, like, if you like me little outings I've had. This week's been a bit unusual. I've been out the garage a lot more than I normally am. Do you like to see them kind of things? I would have even added in the day a bit of recording of going to get the new car. Because what I'm thinking about doing, it's right in the centre of Newcastle. Like, literally, I'll tell you now, at a Hilton hotel. Is it Hilton or something else? One of them, Hilton or Marriott, I don't know. And what I'm debating doing to save the faff when we having to go pester my dad after work tonight, I'm thinking about just getting the bus across to central Newcastle. You walk across the Tyne Bridge to the other side, to Gateshead, and just get the car that way. And it's only going to cost us the price of a one-way bus ticket, probably like £8 or something, rather than faffing on with me dad, trying to get him to take us over and all the rest of it. But we'll see how things go. But I'll catch you guys on next week's vlog, and clearly I will be adding things on over the weekend, and this new project, how things go on it, the ZX. I'll do a bit of filming at the car show. It'd be great to see you there. So I'll catch you next week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember, if you haven't already done so, hit the like. If there's anything you want to say, I am behind on my comments at the minute, but I've been incredibly busy lately, but I always will reply. I don't forget yous. I'll reply to every message just as and when I get time. And please, if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button. Guys, it helps me out no end. It'd be great if you could. Catch you next week. Bye.